She's so careful about it. The wild Mustang ate you, Megan. Hey everyone. So this was originally supposed to be a pickup and day one video with my new Mustang, but unfortunately I ended up accidentally deleting a lot of the pickup footage and first day footage that I had, so this video will end up being a little bit short. The footage that I managed to keep picks up with the first morning with the new Mustangs. They got in pretty late last night, around 11 p.m. So immediately off the bat, it's a little odd to see a brand new Mustang laying down the first morning that you get them, especially staying laying down while you get kind of close. So originally I didn't think too much of it, just figured that he had had, a pretty long trip and was tired. But as the time went on, it became clear that my new dude definitely wasn't feeling very well. So we kind of had to make the choice to either leave him alone or to try to do some gentle work to see if I could get hands on him. I did have a lead rope put on him in the chute, but it was apparently not a very good lead rope and disappeared from his halter overnight. The clasp where it hooks onto the halter had broken. So here I am just doing some approach and retreat to see if I can get him to look at me, with the end goal of hopefully getting him to sniff my hand or getting me to be able to touch his nose a little bit.
I mean, whichever. Yeah, that's good.
So right there, what I'm going for is I want him to look at me. So when he turns his head towards me and acknowledges me, I'm going to walk away, because I want to teach him that looking at me is the right answer. And whenever he looks at me and acknowledges me, I'll move out of his space. So here you can see I keep pushing because he turns away from me and doesn't acknowledge me. I try to stay a fair distance away from his hind feet and protect myself a little bit. But I'm going to keep walking up to him, and he gets scared of the cameraman right there. But I'm going to keep walking up to him until I get him to turn his head and look at me like he does right there, and then back away. And after he looks at me and I walk away, I'm going to stay away for a little bit and give him some time to process what we just did. And then that was really good. As soon as I started to take a step towards him, he turns his head and looks at me. So right here, I try to see if I can get a little bit closer, and he lets me into his bubble a bit more, so then I walk away again. This, I think, the approach and retreat is kind of the boring stuff to watch when gentling Mustangs, but it's pretty much most of what we do on the first day. And I think after this clip, when I had walked away to give him some space, he ended up laying down with me in the pen, which really let me know that he was not feeling great. It's hard when you have one that colics on the very first day, because it's still a fully wild horse, and you can't really do anything to help it. And I figured that he was probably colicking decently for him to feel uncomfortable enough to lay down while I was still there in the pen with him. So after he laid down, we made the decision to try to rope him, because I wanted to try to get some Banamine in him, and we just weren't getting close enough with the approach and retreat. I had gotten some touches before, not on camera, but it still wasn't close enough for me to be able to grab the halter, put that lead rope in my hand on him. So we decided to rope him, because that would give us a better chance of being able to touch him, because we don't have a squeeze chute, so it was really going to be the rope or nothing at all. And Ellen managed to rope him on the very first try, which I also didn't get on film. So here he is. We got him roped, and with the rope we were able to touch him a little bit more. And right here I'm trying to get the lead rope on. The halter was hanging low enough that I figured I could at least get the lead rope snapped on somewhere on his halter. And he actually was pretty good for clipping the lead rope on. It, if I recall correctly, did not take too many tries to get it hooked on to him. Oh, I think it's already on. I can't really tell with my body in the way. So a little more about this guy that I forgot to mention in the beginning of the video. He was my internet adoption win. He is a 5-year-old bay gelding from the Black Rock, Nevada HMA. He was listed as 15-1 in the internet adoption, but I haven't managed to get a stick on him yet to see how accurate that is. But he is a pretty big dude. I really liked, there was no video on the internet adoption, but I really liked the pictures he had. It looked like he had a good trot, and I think there was one cantering picture, so I figured he could at least canter. I also liked the way that his neck tied into his body, and I thought that he had a really sweet eye, so that's what drew me to bid on him. And here you can see we're just getting some touches on his nose. And unfortunately, another piece of video that I somehow deleted was Elisa getting a full 10 cc's of Banamine into him orally, which I really think helped him turn a corner and kick the colic that he was having. He finally ended up passing manure around 5:30 that day, which definitely made me feel better going into the nighttime because I was getting pretty worried about him. So here I'm trying to get close enough to take off that dangling snap. That snap was left from the lead rope that broke. The lead rope broke around the metal bracket that holds it onto the snap. So I'm assuming he stepped on it at some point the previous night. But I didn't want him to have to stay with the dangling snap. So there I go and I take it off, and he's so sweet. He sniffs me, and he's doing his best to be brave, even though he obviously isn't feeling too great. So that's all the footage that I have from day one. Hopefully I won't delete the rest of the stuff that I have on my phone, and stay tuned.